right, in this week's edition of Getting in the Game, we're learning all about figure skating. And who better to teach us than Coach Annabelle? Thank you for having us here today.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's talk about the sport and what it entails.
So figure skating is about doing complex skills on ice. We have 4 disciplines, 3 of them are Olympics. So there's single skating, pair skating, which I call the girl chucking event, and then ice dancing, which is more like ballroom on ice. It's very elegant and musical. And basically, we do edging, spinning, jumping, lifting, depending on the discipline on ice.
Now, the nice thing about figure skating is it doesn't take a lot of equipment, but it does take really specialized skates. Can you tell us a little bit about the skates and how they help with your skills?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're actually wanting to learn advanced figure skating skills, you need a boot that is strong enough and that will strong and supple at the same time, and you also need specialized blades. So you can see that my blades have a very pronounced toe pick, and they also have a bit of a rocker. So that allows us to spin, that allows us to propel into the ice, and the toe pick stops us so we can lift off and then rotate.
Fantastic. Okay, let's give it a go. All right, Coach Annabelle, let's start with the basics. How does someone start in these skates to move?
Well, our blades are very different, as I showed earlier, than the hockey blades, right? So we want to get used to the toe picks.
Okay.
So the first thing I encourage people to do is to just try to walk.
Okay.
So we're not going to try and skate. We're just going to try and walk like we would on the ground.
Okay.
To kind of get used to feeling where our toe picks are.
Okay.
Okay, so then let's slide a little bit so we can walk a little bit. Then we're going to want to learn how to squish our ankles.
Okay.
And then to accelerate our edges, so we're going to push it apart.
Okay.
And then we're going to bring our feet back together and go down and then apart.
Okay.
There you go. And every single skill we do in figure skating starts with a pre-bend. So advanced coaches will call it pre-bend.
Okay.
I call it squishy ankles when I first teach it because I find that it makes sense to us.
That absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, and we need squishy ankles whether we're going to jump, spin, it doesn't matter what we do, there's always a squish and an up. So one of the first skills that we learn after we've gotten used to being on the ice is actually crossovers.
Okay.
And that feels like your legs are very tangled for skaters.
Okay.
So we'll try one. So let's get on a circle.
Okay.
We're going to do our squishy ankles a little bit on the circle.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to pick up our foot. I'm going to come and hold your hand for it.
Okay.
And we're going to step our foot over.
Okay.
But we need squishy ankles so we don't feel like we're going to trip.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we start with squishy ankles.
Yeah.
And then we...
Okay. Yeah, like pick up your foot. And let's try to step it there. And can you glide? There you go. And then we're going to pick it up.
Okay. So when we're going in this direction, this is always the outside foot moving in?
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, and the reason for the squishy ankles here is, well, other than the actual technical of pushing, is that way you're not going to trip.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, so you always want to sort of be in a slight bend.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And then we pick it up. But now we're already kind of progressed way farther than where you would be normally today.
Yes.
But one of the first exercises we would do for this is squishy ankle with one foot. Then we can do this and we're going to try and glide so we're comfortable. And what happens is skaters get their feet together and they feel like this.
Yes.
That's why squishy gives us space.
Okay.
And then we can just pick up our foot and come back. And eventually that turns into a nice,
Wow.
but we're not there today yet.
Okay, we've given it a shot. Thank you so much for having us here today. If our viewers at home, whether you're 4 or 40, want to try figure skating out, what's the best way to do so?
Well, you can come and reach out to our club. So this is the Kitchener-Waterloo Skating Club. You can find us online. And we actually offer skating lessons for beginner to expert in all the disciplines and also for all ages.
Fantastic. Well, again, thank you for having us.
You're welcome.